Imagine waking up each day not knowing if it will be your last. No freedom, no dignity, no control. This was Viktor Frankl's life in a Nazi concentration camp. But despite everything stripped away, he held onto one thing: the freedom to choose his response. Dr. Frankl, an Austrian neurologist and Holocaust survivor, found that even in the darkest of places, humans can live with purpose. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he writes about how those who survived were not necessarily the physically strongest, but those who had something to live for. He was not centered on money, power, or comfort, because those things were gone. What remained was principle, the belief that he could choose his attitude, find meaning in suffering, and help others do the same. Principles are immovable. When everything else fails, they guide us. Being principle-centered means we don't react to life. We respond with purpose. Here is the story of Oprah Winfrey and her life's mission. I want to use television not just to entertain, but to uplift, to inspire, to enlighten. Oprah said in an early interview, "That's my mission." Oprah Winfrey didn't start out with wealth or privilege. She grew up in poverty and endured abuse. But what gave her direction was clarity, a sense of mission. She wrote it down early in her career to be a teacher in all she does. That mission helped her say no to projects that didn't align with her values, and yes to building a media empire based on service and empowerment. A personal mission statement isn't just a fancy slogan, it's a compass. When life gets confusing or busy, it brings you back to what matters most. Imagination is more important than knowledge, Einstein famously said. But what did he mean? Albert Einstein didn't rely solely on logic or questions. He imagined himself riding on beams of light. These mental pictures, vivid, playful, emotional, allowed him to discover the theory of relativity. He used both the left and right sides of his brain, logic and creativity, science and storytelling. Many breakthroughs in science, art, and business happen when people tap into both hemispheres of the brain. When we plan our future or craft our mission, we should engage our entire brain. Logic helps define the path. Creativity helps us see possibilities we never imagined. In 1990, a struggling actor drove up to Mulholland Drive in Los Angeles, wrote himself a check for $10 million, and dated it Thanksgiving 1995. That actor was Jim Carrey. At the time, he was broke and unknown, but he practiced the right brain visualization by imagining himself receiving that check for acting services. 5 years later, almost to the date, he received a $10 million paycheck for Dumb and Dumber. The first way to tap the right brain is through visualizing what success looks like. The second is through experiencing the feeling of it as if it's already real. "I am the greatest," shouted Muhammad Ali, even before he had any titles. But it wasn't arrogance, it was affirmation. Ali visualized every punch, every movement, every victory before they happened. He trained his mind as hard as his body. He repeated affirmation not just to psych himself up, but to rewire his self-belief. Visualization and affirmation are how he created his future in his mind before it ever happened in the ring. If you want to live your mission, don't just write it. Visualize it, speak it, affirm it. Because what you repeatedly imagine becomes what you repeatedly become. So, what does it really mean to begin with the end in mind? It's not just about goal setting, not just about vision boards or checklists. It's about deciding who you want to be, not just what you want to achieve. It's about living on purpose, with purpose, even when the world is unpredictable. Viktor Frankl chose meaning over misery. Oprah aligned her empire with a mission. Einstein imagined the impossible. Jim Carrey wrote his future into existence, and Muhammad Ali affirmed greatness before the world ever believed it. Each of them, in their own way, lived out habit number 2. They chose their center. They wrote their vision. They used both logic and imagination. They practiced visualization, and they spoke life into their future. Now it's your turn. What will your mission be? What principles will guide you? What will your light stand for when the noise fades and the spotlight dims? The greatest stories ever lived begin with the end in mind. Take a moment today to write your personal mission statement. Engage both sides of your brain. Think logically, dream boldly. Visualize your future, affirm your path, and live each day with the end in mind. Because the world doesn't just need more people who are busy, it needs more people who are clear, more people who lived by principle, more people like you.